I just feel so good for our team, for our students. You know, we have a lot of the scheduling where we could have our students on campus, have a good team here. Xavier was a place that we didn't play as well, and just for us to get this win today, we're really, as you can see, a really good team with a lot of weapons. But our defense was, except for that few minutes where we just really got exposed by not giving enough help inside off Tremble off the ball screen. He was picking us apart, and we tightened that up. We got the stops that we needed. So a lot of key players in the game. One that you look at shooting stats, they weren't good. He had a couple of tough turnovers. But I had Derek Walton sing the song at the end because I asked him in the timeout, I want you to go out there and shoot the ball. His first one missed, but his next two, we were very stagnant at that time, and he made 2 shots we needed to make. So, but everybody contributed, and really happy for our team, for like I said, our students. I really want them to have this great experience of going to see a good basketball team, and for a lot of reasons, we haven't been as good the last 2 years, and we want to be a good team again because it's exciting.
Chris, why don't you start us off?
Talk about Zach's overall game and just kind of the way he carried you at times.
Yeah, you know, he's got I think our assistants call him Big Shot, right? Because that was sort of his reputation in high school and in AAU ball and things like that. And we drew up a play for him just to read, and he pulled up and hit that 3. That was a big play for us. So he's doing some things. He's driving the ball to the basket. He's driving under control. That was a good night for him, a really good night for him. And if we can just get him with the consistency that I think that he expects of himself, will really help us.
Stay here with Donald.
One of the big plays I guess Derek made was calling the timeout a few seconds to go with Donald.
Yeah.
The rebound was trapped. I mean, how anxious is that for you? I guess you're not allowed to call it from the
Yeah.
bench now. So
No,
he's
that was big to do. And Mark's rebound was really big to get, right? And his foul shot was big to get. But yeah, these things are with Derek. He has this in him. He has more in him. And you know, you think some of the guys he's been playing with have been such excellent players. He didn't have to take that role. And even with Karras this year, we were not putting him in that role. And he and I have been talking about this last couple of weeks, how he's got to assume that role. And that was a good example of it.
Brendan?
On Zach, I guess on the defensive side, you know, his willingness to, at one point he was on Stone, he's given up 6 inches and 40 pounds. You know, probably didn't envision himself doing that when he got here. The willingness to be able to do that and, you know, embrace all the different changes on offense, just how much it's kind of aged.
He has really been, and he's had his moments where he was, as he has grown as a young man and he's grown as a player. But right now he just wants to win. And so we put him on some pretty tough matchups, much like we had to do with Glenn Robinson. But the good news is that they got to guard you too. And so he's been able to really make big plays for us. So, but there hasn't been any of this, you know, I'm not, like the Zach Novaks and the Glenn Robinsons and now Zach, they've been forced to by injury, for whatever reason. Too many good players, and we're not going to sit Glenn, Nick, or Karras. So we play them all. Well, how do we play? Well, one of you's got to guard the other guy. Glenn, go do it. Now Zach's got to do that same thing. He's really done well.
Stay on that side in the back with Nick.
John, Derek and Zach are juniors now. How notable was it to you that, you know, last 2 minutes of the game, those were the guys that won the game for you? Karras wasn't out there. It was just those 2 guys in a big moment, and they, it seems like maybe that's the first time they did it together, kind of.
Yeah, now that you say that, that's true. I believe that's true. That this is that next step for them, and it's been forced on probably too early last year when they were sophomores. I mean, and they played, you know, Derek played more of a role, but cameo roles, real roles his freshman year on a great championship team. And now all of a sudden they didn't really have to do that, but Zach started to like that last year a little bit. But we didn't win enough games. Now they won games. It's the feeling right now that we come in here and Tim Hardaway or Trey Burke or Nick Stouts, Karras LeVert just make a big play, win the game. And so that's why I was encouraging Derek, you've got to shoot the ball. And it's with me too. I have to dial him up more. I have to create more things for him so that he's more assertive.
down in front of the lab.
Coach, to hold a guy like Melo Trimble to one field goal and 3 assists, what does that say about the defensive effort?
Yeah, I mean, Derek did a great job, and, you know, because we gave him a pretty hard edge. They're one of the top ball screen in numbers and success in the league. So, you know, we decided to just go with our regular action, put 2 guys on them on the ball screen and see if they could beat us with 2s. And then they were really beating us with 2s. And when they were beating us, we were giving way too much attention to the outside. We had to make Trimble not see that and see it outside. But the big thing was, didn't want him to get any clean looks. And I'm sure glad he wasn't looking at that last shot. We did a good job of keeping him from getting the ball and taking that last one. I didn't want another Wisconsin game.
On your right with Greg.
Coach, this being your first really big resume win for the season, how much talk is there, big picture with the team on the season, Big Ten standings, NCAA tournament berth?
Yeah, you know, the most of the focus is just get to the top of the Big Ten, win a Big Ten championship. We're 3-1. We don't know what we'll go going forward, but we're 3-1 in the Big Ten. So, and we're trying to protect our home court. That should take care of enough. At the same time, I've told them on a couple occasions, you know, that there's Big Ten championships that we want to win, but there's also a thing called Selection Sunday, and we don't want to be missing on Selection Sunday. And you have to have top 50 wins, and you have to have a few of them. And that's my belief. And we got to continue to do that. And this one helps a lot.
Stay over here in the middle of Sam.
Coach, what was the overall defensive strategy when they have so much size on you and you're doubling down, but then Melo Trimble only scores 2 points on you? Can you talk a little bit about what the game plan was going on?
You know, we had 3 different double down packages that I won't disclose, but there were 3 packages. But then we thought we were giving up too many. Sometimes we double on the wrong guy. That's confusing when your back is to the guy and they throw it and you go get him and it's not the guy you're supposed to get because you can't see his number or you're not sure where he is. And it was costing us a little bit. So we decided to go away from that. We've done it successfully on some other cases. We weren't so successful. We were awful. In the Purdue game, you know, there were several times Mark was leading them to the double team and there was no double team. So we tried to mix it up so they wouldn't be real comfortable. But we didn't want to leave Trimble as little as we could.
Right, stay there with Bojan.
John, you talked about like Derek and Zach Irvin taking on larger roles. With LeVert out, did you sense there was some uncertainty on their part to do that? And was tonight the night that you maybe preached upon it and then they did it?
You know, and I'll confess, probably I did it, and everybody's done it. Oh, here we go again. Same thing as last year. You know, I got Spike sitting there and you got Karras sitting there. And but there was I think the Penn State game really showed that we have some other weapons. They also love playing with Duncan Robinson. They're looking for him all the time. And so I think both of them are realizing, well, listen, if you play defense and we really execute on offense, we're going to have to make a lot of threes. I mean, 12 threes, we have to do that. Because we still don't have that inside presence like a diamond stone. Doesn't mean you can't win. So I think they're understanding there's a lot of ways to win, not just if Karras isn't there, we can't win. We've done it twice now. And even in the Purdue game, we didn't play well. I mean, we had a fast break down 6 with 5 minutes to go, and we didn't make the right play. So
We got time for a few more. We'll go with Brendan and Sean and then Chris.
You mentioned that kind of here we go again feeling. So in that case, just how much do these guys kind of need?
it was very fleeting for me. I went to my positive dog immediately.
But for those guys in the locker room, how much do they kind of need this to breathe a little,
I think it's big. I think it's big. I mean, that 3 goes in at the end or we don't make the foul shot, it would have been really tough for them because they're giving everything they can in practice every day. You know, like I said, there's not an agenda. I mean, we have 0 issues with anything that would distract us from growing as a team. But there's a time they're young men, and all of a sudden you lose that game. This is a big win for us. Now we got to carry it over going to Iowa.
Sean?
John, Mark said that the key to his recent play is that he's stopped overthinking. Do you think that has been replaced with the intensity and the sort of passion we've seen from him? Yeah,
you know, Sean, he was doing this in practice the last couple of days where he's just really been our best big man. And he was doing it 2 weeks ago on the scout team. That's why he played in the Illinois game. And I think he had to have some success. to realize that it does work. Because there's moments when he's really working hard and nothing seems to still go right. And so the big man in any defense right now has a lot to think about, because his man is setting most of the ball screens. We play almost everybody differently in the ball screens. He's got to remember coverages. He's getting the reps now that I see he's making the right progress. But his whole idea is overthinking. You know, he just reacts sometimes, and if you're wrong, but at least you did something.
Coach, we'll close with Chris.
Is there even more room for growth if they're looking for Duncan in transition?
Yeah. He comes up the court, he gets a little tunnel vision sometimes of what he's trying to do. The move where I was upset with his turnover was the exact same thing he did, with 5 minutes ago in the Purdue game. Just went down and said, I'm going to pick this ball up and go and make a play, even though there's not one there. So as he sees this, he's a smart kid. He'll get better and better at it. But Mohammed, if I'm a guard, I'm thinking assists, right? I want to get that ball to Duncan or Zach whenever I can. And so he's still got to continue to look at that, and we'll work with him on it.
Did it stun you when he missed the wide open one from the corner? 2 open?
Yeah, wasn't that unbelievable? That was his worst miss of the year. And it was the most open he's been all year. But his little baseline drive, too, and finish on the other side is pretty good. So, we all love coaching him. He thanks me every day after practice. Every day, thanks me for coaching him. Thanks to everybody on the staff. He's good, and this was a great, and I'm sure his family sitting back home watching that game really loved that environment tonight.